welcome to another episode of the How to CEO Show. In this show, we're going to be looking at strategies to become the best CEO that you can be. I'm your host, Murray Newlands. When you decided to become a CEO, the world changed. You can either build an amazing company or you can crash and burn. In this show, we look at giving you the knowledge, the skills, the advice, and the experience. So, what are my tips for becoming an awesome CEO? Well, the first one is to learn to ask what's important. Not just asking other people what's important, but asking yourself what's important. Taking time on a regular basis to reflect on where is my company now, what's important, what is going to change, and what is really going to move the needle to make a difference. And every time you're making those reorganizational changes, say, is this really going to make a difference? And asking other people and having the right people around you to help guide you with where you are really making a difference. How do you develop a to-do list of things that are really going to make a difference? It's easy to get stuck in the here's where I am, here's what my company is doing, here's what we're doing today. Some of the best companies have been through lots of changes, and those changes, those evolutions have really helped them to move the business forward. It's very difficult when you're in the day-to-day of things to take that time out and really ask, what should I be really focusing on right now? The next thing is to always really focus on what is creating value and where are the values for the company and how can you do more to create more value for your company. A lot of the time that means refocusing on customers. Who are the customers we're focusing on and how can we best serve them to increase stakeholder value? My next tip is to be really good at understanding what your story is and how to tell it. Why are you doing this? Why is your business doing this? Why is your business around in the first place? Why are you doing what you're doing to serve your customers? And being able to communicate that story and tell that story without getting stuck in, it's very easy to get stuck in the, hey, we do this. This is what we create. This is why we create it. This is how we create it. But focus on the why you create it. Focus on the how it solves customer issues. Focusing on how it's changing the world. That's really critical to communicate that well to your customers, but also to your stakeholders, your employees, your shareholders, the community around you. Become really good at telling that story so everyone knows your story, everyone buys into your story, and they're with you on your journey. My next tip is to really keep a deep sense of purpose. If your company disappeared tomorrow, would it matter? Who do you make a difference to? And as you grow, as you change, that may change. Initially, when you set out, it may make a big difference to you. Then it may make a big difference to your employees. Hopefully, very quickly, it makes a really big difference to customers you serve. Think, for example, about Uber, fast-growing company, appeared out of nowhere, is growing really fast. And now whole communities rely on it. Communities of drivers rely on it for an income. Communities of people who don't have access to other transport really rely on it. So all of a sudden, as the company has grown, hey, it might have been great for shareholders and founders to start with, but now it's actually really important to a large group of people. So really understand your purpose on both sides. Starbucks, for example, one of their key things is that they really want to be a great place for their employees to work so that they get great employees who deliver great service, and then they deliver great service so happy customers are happy. My next tip is to be a great gatekeeper. Don't confuse like delegation with making sure that your company is on the right track, making sure you define the standards that you want, make sure that you stay focused on what it is exactly that you're going to deliver, and try and make sure that you keep delivering that in the right way. My next tip is to set great goals. If you just set small goals, you'll only achieve small things. If you set great goals, you can try and strive and get them. You can also communicate that message really easily that you want to be really successful. That way, you can set targets for your staff to strive to. You can say, hey, we want to be the best at this one thing. If you want to just be a small company, that's great. But if you really want to build a big company, you have to set high goals and help people try and deliver them. Also, a difference between setting high goals for the company and setting high goals for individuals who can't reach them. So recognize which goals you're setting and how you're expecting people to fulfill those. My next thing really is going back to my interview with Evan, who is further earlier in the series. Really build something to serve others. And as a CEO, you want to be serving others as well. Try not to think about yourself when you're in these situations with your employees and customers. Think, how are you serving other people and how are you making them happy? And how is the way you're making them happy and your business is satisfying customers, how is that transforming lives? How is it changing people? And how is that going to make your business successful? So build to serve other people. And as a CEO, you need to serve others in serving your employees, your customers, and your stakeholders. My next tip is that this journey is going to be hard, and you need to have resilience and inner strength. And you need to make sure that when employees come to you, and normally they're going to come to you with a question, it's going to be a hard question because hopefully you've hired employees who are going to answer the easy questions themselves. And you're going to be stressed about something, and they are going to ask you a question at the wrong moment, at the wrong time, and you're going to have challenges with that. And what I would say is you need to develop strength to deal with that. You need to think about the great times as they come in, and you need to hold those happy moments for when things get really tough, which they will do from time to time. I'm Murray Newlands. You're listening to the How to CEO podcast. Hopefully that's helpful. That's my tips on how to be a great CEO. Thank you for subscribing. If you love this show, please share. If you'd like to be on this show for an interview, we'd like to hear from you. You're listening to the How to CEO show. I'll see you next time.